Guys, I believe I have a new addiction, and it's called One Piece. Welcome back to the channel, family. As many of you already know, I made a video a while back called I Finally Started One Piece and You Should Too. In that video, I went deep into how One Piece has had a profound impact on my life, and many of you really resonated along with that video, so I felt called to make this video, since I haven't made a One Piece video in quite some time, about not only where I am in the story, but the impact that it continues to have on me and how I go further and further in this series, and it's like I just get more and more invested. I get more and more hooked. One of the main reasons that One Piece is having such a profound impact on my life is because of one man. And I think that we all know who this man is. This guy right here, Monkey D. Luffy. He's already a legend, and I think I'm about halfway through the series. This guy is unbelievable. I made it to the time skip and have passed the time skip, and don't get me wrong, Luffy was already a badass, okay? He was already cool, he was already inspirational and funny and charismatic, and somebody that I could take elements from his character and apply them to my own life in the same way. Fearless and just a hell of a character with a hell of a dream. He was already that guy. But after the time skip, forget about it. This dude is a certified Chad. After the time skip, Luffy has some sort of presence to him that just wasn't the same compared to before the time skip. I think that Oda did a really good job when writing this character and all these characters after the time skip and really making them feel and introducing them back into the story as different characters, even though they're the same characters we always knew, but they have so many different traits and qualities, not just physically, but just the way that they present themselves and carry themselves. And Luffy is a perfect embodiment of that. I'm not going to lie, I have many great memories and moments that I have already from the series, and I'm about 500 some odd episodes in. But I gotta say, the time skip might be like one of my favorite parts of the story so far, at least how it's progressed and introduced the characters back into the story. I want to go over each member of the Straw Hat crew and how they've changed a little bit, or at least the changes that I've noticed for them and how they impact the story going forward. And obviously we're going to start off with the captain himself, Luffy. Luffy is way stronger now, and we see that on display firsthand when he takes out one of the pacifistas with one shot after the time skip. It's literally insane. This guy goes from not being able to take on these pacifistas or these Kuma clone robots to now being able to take one out with one shot. It's literally remarkable. Not to mention that he can also use Haki now, and he just seems more mature overall. Don't get me wrong, Luffy still has the kind of clueless, carefree attitude that he always has, but now he just seems like he's almost more fit to be captain. He seems older. He seems more mature. The writers did a really good job with writing his character and just giving him a presence of a true captain, which he already kind of had before, but after this time skip, it really ramps up like times 10. Another character I want to talk about is Roronoa Zoro, of course, and he spent his time training with Dracul Mihawk, which is kind of crazy. Like, I still kind of blows my mind how that's even a thing. Like, Mihawk was willing to train him all that time, but I'm sure he learned a lot from Mihawk. I'm to the point now where Zoro is fighting this guy named Horgy, who's a friend of Arlong's, or he worked alongside Arlong's a long time ago. I haven't seen fully of what Zoro's capable of, or matter of fact, any of the characters quite yet, but I can already tell that Zoro definitely seems a lot stronger than he was beforehand, and he was already really strong. Plus, let's be honest, that scar he has on his eye is badass. The next Straw Hat I want to talk about is Nami. Nami has become a lot stronger as a weather mage. She's also, how do I put this? She's kind of like, let's just say that Nami climbed up a little bit higher on the waifu tier list. Another character is Franky. Franky wasn't somebody I was super fond of when he first was introduced in the series, but he's definitely grown on me a lot, especially after the time skip. He's insane now. Like, honestly, of all the growth that I've seen from the Straw Hats so far, he probably has one of the ones that is the most exponential, just because, and impactful, just because of not only the way he looks, but all the weapons that he has now and all the knowledge he has about his own body. And it really feels like with Franky's weapons and his mechanisms that he has in his body, it feels like there's nothing he can't do anymore. Chopper has more drugs. I'll say that. As far as what I've noticed, things that have changed with Chopper, I guess if you want to say he looks a little cuter, in my opinion. I'm not hating on Chopper. I really do like Chopper, but like, I definitely need to see more from him. I'm on Fishman Island right now. I need to see more of like the things he's capable of before I'm kind of like, wow, he really kind of shocked me or blew me away with his like time skip transformation and whatever else. But I really like Chopper. He's adorable. He's great. Nico Robin. I absolutely loved Nico Robin. I loved her before she even joined the crew. Like when she was with Crocodile and Alabasta, I still loved Robin. She was amazing. As far as like the things that have changed with her in the time skip, she got like the opposite of a tan. Like she got pale, like, which is weird. It's just the animation style, I guess. She got, again, like, I don't know if you could really do that, if that's possible, but she got that for sure. And also, another thing about Robin, she definitely made it on the waifu tier list as well. Just gonna point it out there. So maybe I'll make a video in the future and reveal my top waifus, because I got like a lot of them. If that's something you guys interested in, let me know. Speaking of waifus, we gotta talk about Sanji. I have quite a few things to say about Sanji, actually. I love Sanji so much, and I love how infatuated he is with Robin and Nami, and how he always says, "Nami Swan," every time he sees her. It's the funniest thing ever. But my whole thing with Sanji is like, he's gotten to the point now where, at least in the beginning of Fishman Island, he couldn't even look at Nami without like nearly dying. One thing that I find really interesting about Sanji and his bloodbath, quite literally, out of his nose, is how much that the blood actually affects the story. I feel like in a lot of different series or animes I've seen where they use the blood spurting out the nose as a gag to kind of show that the character is aroused, I feel like it didn't have much bearing on the story. It was kind of just a funny moment. But Sanji legitimately almost dies from blood loss, and Chopper has to save his life. This man also gave up their cover when they were on Fishman Island trying to hide from the Guardians. The fishmen that were working alongside of the king of Fishman Island. I don't remember his name off the top of my head right now. Comment down below the Fishman Island king's name. What is his name again? I forget what it is. But I love that element of how Sanji legitimately being infatuated by women and having the blood come out of his nose somehow like impacts the story so much. Because again, he almost died. Another straw hat that we all know and love is Brook. I will say this though, I haven't seen a lot change from Brook. Heck, if anything, his bone jokes are probably just growing on me. I'll say that. But I haven't seen a lot change with him. I don't know if he became like a better musician or if he's a stronger fighter now. But he definitely became more popular and really famous, which is probably going to increase his bounty by quite a bit, actually. Guys, now here's the thing though. My favorite straw hat after the time skip though is Usopp. It's Usopp. Usopp is the MVP. He's the most valuable pirate after the time skip. Even, well, I don't know if I can put him above Luffy, but he is amazing. Like, it's amazing what Usopp does after the time skip. The reason I say that is because Usopp literally went from being like scared and really skinny to like scared and super fat and not being able to control his obesity to like scared but really shredded and jacked and fit. He also has different weapons he can use now with his slingshot that are really cool, and it's like, I love it so much. I really do. I love it so much. Like, for some reason, his post-time skip, like, it's just, it hits different for me. I don't know what it is. I hit a bit on all these straw hats and how their different transformations throughout the time skip were really cool and impactful for me, especially Luffy's, man. Luffy is such a G now. And he already was that guy. He was already that guy before the time skip, but like he came back and it's like, bro, now he's different. Like he's on a different level now, literally, physically and mentally. And it's just like, he's locked in. He's really locked in on finding that One Piece. And it almost feels like right now, at least where I am in the story, it's like, he can't really be stopped, at least until he meets some stronger opponents or stronger foes, which are inevitably going to come up. Like, he can't be stopped at all. Like, nobody's going to stop him from finding the One Piece or being king of the pirates at all. Fishman Island is an amazing arc. It's so unique how the characters got there, going on the Sunny, traveling all the way up from the Grand Line. It's also so unique, the scenery itself and the different animals and creatures that live on Fishman Island. Hell, dude, if I could, I would live on Fishman Island for like a couple different reasons. One, there's beautiful mermaids like everywhere. Like, come on, bro. Like, who doesn't want to go where there's mermaids everywhere? Two, the scenery. The scenery is so banging. Like, you look around and they did a great job with the art and how they portray Fishman Island, because it's just a beautiful place to be. It looks like the scenery is something, it's a scenery that's very unique in a way that we haven't really seen before. It kind of reminds me of Skypiea. Skypiea was the same way, and kind of like they went there and it just felt like a completely different world, and it really adds on to the story, and instead of it just being, you know, pirates on a boat in the middle of an ocean. So it's really cool. I love the scenery of Fishman Island a lot. Mermaids as well. Did I forget to mention that there's like mermaids like everywhere? Again, you know, mermaids. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like. Let me get into the villains so far of this arc. I'm not sure if there's any more villains that are going to show up in this arc that are going to be big or impactful to the story. But right now we are dealing with Mr. Horgy. I think that's how you say his name. Because it's either Horgy or it's Horny, and I'm pretty sure it's not Horny. Horgy, who is a old friend, ambassador, apprentice of Arlong from Arlong Park, who I really liked Arlong Park, by the way. I thought the fight between Luffy and Arlong was really great. And I also love the whole premise of how Nami and Luffy became so close after that arc, like how Luffy stands up there on the tower and says, "Nami, you'll always be my friend." That was amazing. I truly loved it. But Horgy, really? This guy, bro, this guy literally uses drugs. Like he just has a bunch of steroids and he pops pills, and then he becomes like really, really strong. And then you also have another guy, not gonna lie, I don't remember his name off the top of my head. He can throw things, like throw knives, and no matter where he throws them, they track you down. And I'm sure you guys know exactly who I'm talking about. I just can't think of his name right now. But that's how much I don't care about the character, honestly. Like, Luffy already kicked his ass, and then he's still up. He's trying to marry the mermaid princess for some reason. I don't know. It seems kind of like one of those like Absalom situations. Remember in Thriller Bark where Absalom wanted to marry Nami and it had like no bearing on the story whatsoever? I'm kind of getting those vibes, guys. I don't know. So I just gotta wait and see, but he's an okay character. I like his power is kind of unique. It's pretty cool, but I don't know. I mean, 7 warlords, Horgy. That's just how I feel. I feel like they're kind of lame, but I still love Fishman Island. I love the arc, and I love everything that goes into it. And again, I love mermaids, so like, obviously, like, I love it. I love it. Guys, One Piece is just getting better and better. I don't know what else to say. This show is having such a profound impact on my life. I have only had very few anime that have really touched my heart to this extent, and one of them would be Naruto, one of them would be Dragon Ball, and One Piece is definitely getting up there on that level. So those are going to be the big 3, like, at least my big 3 that I love, where it's like, these shows have such a profound impact on my life, and the reason I say that is because it's not just a story, it's like, it's an adventure, and the characters and the different hidden meanings behind these characters are so profound. Like, whether it's friendship, love, bravery, going after your dreams, not giving up on yourself, not giving up on others. There's so many great life lessons within these shows, these stories, and these characters, and I love them so much, and that's what inspired me to make videos in the first place. That's what inspired me to kind of be the person that I am today, and I take little aspects of these different shows and these series and I apply them to my own life. Like, One Piece is definitely touching my heart a lot, and highly recommend, if you haven't started it yet, why are you watching my video? Go start One Piece. Like, it's amazing. It's so worth it, and it's such a great adventure. You go into it with an open mind, and that's exactly what I did, and you're gonna be so happy that you started it. But I will warn you, once you take on One Piece and you start the journey, you're hooked. And like a fish getting reeled in onto a boat and about to be cooked up in Sanji's dishes, you're cooked, man. You're cooked. Like, once you start it and once you get invested, like, there's no going back. You're gonna like make time for it. You have to. It's like a relationship, you know? It's like, if you're single, it's like cool, like you don't really gotta worry about all that stuff. You kind of just keep to yourself. You think, oh man, I really want a relationship. Once you get one, and it's like, you look back like, I mean, yeah, this is great, but it's like, damn, you might not have time for anything anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's a commitment for sure, but I'm telling you guys, it's worth it. One Piece is amazing, and it just continues to keep getting better and better as I watch and progress in the story. And I can't wait to share more with you guys about the stories and the hidden meanings and the things that I love about the series, and the things that you love about the series as well. I appreciate you, family, for tuning in. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.